So I watched the Jeff Buckley documentary on HBO last night, and it made me realize that Jeff Buckley is a prime example of what can happen to an artist when record labels put immense pressure on them to get things done. So go ahead and grab your coffee. I got mine. Let's go put some music on and talk about this. So I am currently working on getting my vinyl copy of Grace, but in the meantime, I figured we will listen to one of the other greatest songwriters of all time, Mr. Jim Croce. So the reason I bring this up with Jeff Buckley is because it really got me thinking about the role of the record label nowadays. Because in Jeff Buckley's case, he ended up getting pressured a lot once he signs to Columbia Records, and that's when it truly sank in that, like, he's doing this more as a job now rather than doing it as an artist. And he ended up saying in his own words, I have to write 100 songs in a week. Now, he might have been exaggerating when he said that, I don't know, but that's the kind of pressure that he felt. The label was really pushing for him to put out that sophomore album. And not to mention, too, when he first released Grace, it was a global success, but it wasn't a hit in the US, and he ended up still owing the record label millions of dollars. And that's really crazy to think, man. Like, a lot of people don't realize that when you sign to a record label, you're essentially taking out a loan, a massive loan, to go and get the things that you would need to be a global superstar, like a tour bus and all that. And you have to pay that money back. And that's all based off of your success. Jeff Buckley was a global success, according to the documentary. And he ended up touring the world, promoting the album, and still owed the record label millions of dollars. So that gets me thinking, what is the point of a record label nowadays? Jeff Buckley signed to a record label because that's what you did back in the day. That was your lifeline. That was the sign that you quote-unquote made it. You know what I mean? That was every artist's dream in a sense. Nowadays, you don't really need that. You have TikTok. You have just all of social media in general, YouTube, whatever. You have the tools to make your own fan base, to go viral, get famous, all of that. You can distribute your own music. That's another thing that record labels were really big for back in the day, was you went to them because they could get your CDs out there and all of that. But you don't need that anymore. You literally pay $20 and get your music on Spotify now. Does that mean you're a success immediately? No, but my point is that you can do it all from your bedroom. And people have. There are people that have gone viral and are more famous than people that have been signed to labels for years now. Now, that's not to say that record labels don't do things. Like, there are some perks to the record label, obviously, and there are record labels that treat their artists well. I'm not saying all record labels are evil, but it's like, when you really look at it nowadays, what's the point? Jeff Buckley, man, what a loss. If he's probably one of the biggest losses in music, if not the biggest loss, because just the amount of potential that guy had. It was just, he was barely getting started, man, and that's insane. Like, for your debut album to be one of the greatest albums of all time, I mean, what else did you have? Like, that's what you came out swinging with, was Grace? I mean, holy crap, dude. I can't even imagine the type of music that he would be continuing to make right now. It's insane. And such a loss, man. But what a beautiful soul. Troubled soul, but what a beautiful soul, man. I will never be over that. Every time I listen to his music, that's all I think about, is what this guy could be doing right now if he was here. But that's the beautiful thing about music, man, is that they can leave behind incredible, incredible pieces of art for us to continue to listen to and carry on their legacies. Anyways, guys, let me know in the comments below what your favorite Jeff Buckley song is, how you found out about Jeff Buckley. And also, let me know, do you really think we need record labels anymore at this point? I don't think so, but what do I know? I'm just a guy sitting in his bedroom talking about music. Thanks for watching. God bless, and I will see you in the next video. See ya.